Boom. Everything. I decided to do an extra long jog today. God, it's hot out here. It's actually not that bad. But anyway, I decided to extend my run. And instead of doing 4 miles, well, I can't call it a run even. I'm still not fit enough. Whew, I can hardly jog and like speed walk. But anyway, we'll call it a run for all intents and purposes. I used to work at this bowling alley, and I just wanted to just walk by here. I don't know. I like to go down memory lane, remember good times, bad times. It just reminds me, I guess, of how far I come and how far I have to go, which is all good. I'm in it for the marathon. But I used to work at this makeup place, and it was my second real full-time job. I had one full-time job where I was managing a candle shop. That was one of the best jobs I've ever had. I just liked being there. The owners were amazing. They were super nice and polite, and they gave me little bonuses whenever I did, a good job or whatever. This place, on the other hand, was a nightmare. And I really think I started writing and making, content for my blog that I want to do. Or I don't know if I want it to be a podcast or what. I don't know what form it's going to take. But my blog, I'm calling it either Chronicles or Diatribe of a 9-to-5 Life. I think that's better. Diatribe of a 9-to-5 Life. Because even though I'm going to highlight good experiences I've had working, the many 9-to-5s that I've had, that I've worked. I'm going to highlight the good things, but I think the whole point of it, a diatribe is really sort of like a rant, a negative rant on the experience you've had with something. So I'm going to highlight the positive things I've experienced, but it really is going to focus on all the negative experiences that I've had working those different 9-to-5s, whether it was, working for horrible people, whether it was for just hours that sucked, office politics, issues with, I've never really had any issues with coworkers, honestly. It's always the people at the top that I have a problem with. It's always with the system that's implemented to make you work your ass off for pennies and not being paid what you truly deserve, or not having your pay be reflected by the value you bring to a company or an organization. So I've never really had an issue, I don't think, with any coworkers. I'm going through, I started jotting down little bullet points of my different jobs and the employees I used to work with, and bullet points of small events or issues or whatever. And it's never really been, I've always gotten along well with coworkers, and honestly I've gotten along really well with most of the people that I've worked with or worked for, except for when I have a problem with something. People don't like to hear when they're doing something wrong. People like to blame it on, when people take advantage of you as an employee, they like to blame it on, that's just the way the system is, that's just the way that things are. And to a point, they're right. We have people in power, elected officials, who run this system like a mafia. They don't care about the little guy. They don't care about the people who have to do the work that they don't want to do, who have to go bury the bodies, so to speak, and do all the grunt work. And those are the people who make these businesses possible. They make these businesses run. Those are the people who, really, if it weren't for, you wouldn't have the kind of growth you have as a corporation like Amazon, like Walmart, whatever the case is. even all the way down to small businesses. And so when you sort of get fed up and you bring to light any issues you might have, or you get fed up and you get to a point where you've dealt with it for a long time, you keep your mouth shut, you don't say anything because you have to. We live in a system where you have to do the thing that sucks in order to survive and not be out on the streets. And when you get to a point where you blow up, people look at you like you're out of your mind. Even when you're completely calm and you just bring up the issue through conversation or a disagreement or an argument, people look at you like you're crazy. And if you bring the issue up casually or whatever, you're always given the answer like, we can't afford it right now, or we can't do this because of that, and this is what you agreed to, and you never really agree to half of the shit that they make you do. You just kind of deal with it, and they start expecting it. So I think I'm gonna just start telling my story, my many stories, reading the chapters of my many stories, just sort of putting it out there, because I'm sure, I know for a fact I'm not the only one who has gripes with the system and with the way that not only American workers are treated, but the working class all around the world. We do all the heavy lifting, and we're looked at as unappreciative peons when we open our mouths and when we stand up for ourselves. It's not right. And this system is gonna collapse. Why? Because we're not putting up with this shit anymore. I for sure am not. So I think it would be good to start telling my story and seeing what the comments are like, seeing who I connect with, seeing who disagrees, because everyone has their own point of view. But like I said, I'm beyond sure that a majority of the working class population would absolutely be on the same page as me and see things the way I do, because the people at the top always get away with everything, and the people at the bottom just have to fucking put up with it. I'm sick of that shit. Sick of it. I'm done. We can't do this anymore. It's not right. More than enough to go around. There's plenty for us all. And, if there wasn't, why are the people that set up the system so greedy with the amount that they have? Why don't they share a little bit? They don't want you to know that there's more than enough for everybody. They like the inequality. They like the imbalance. They like to feel like they have more than you. They like to feel like they are better than you. So now we have to band together and teach them a different lesson. We can do this nicely, or we can do it the hard way. And right now, with the way that things are going with, the current administration sending secret police and unmarked vehicles, unmarked officers into cities and beating the shit out of peaceful protesters, pepper spraying them, harassing them, abusing them. It looks like they want to do things the hard way. Mitch McConnell, who's that other schmuck? That weird smile face guy, the guy who licked Trump's ass after Trump made fun of how ugly his wife is. The little disgusting weasel. I forget his name. He's just so gross. Like, how is somebody gonna make fun of your wife in public, make you a laughing stock, and then you're gonna spend you're gonna waste your time working for someone like that, licking his ass? You're disgusting. I would divorce you if you were my husband. You can't even be called a husband. You don't deserve that title. A husband mans up for his wife, A husband mans up for his husband. A wife does the same shit. womans up for her woman. She womans up for her wife. She womans up for her husband. The fact that someone like Donald Trump, that little turd, makes fun of your wife and calls her ugly in front of billions of people, and you're gonna turn around and work for that? Oh, are you crazy? You're crazy. You're crazy. You're not. No, you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're pathetic. Okay? You're a pathetic weasel. And for people like you to tell people who have busted their asses for pennies are getting paid too much on unemployment. Oh, finally, the people who bust their asses all their lives in this country, you know, finally get a break. And it's too much. Meanwhile, you guys get to spend $40,000 for your office furniture. Who makes up these rules? Who gives you guys these kinds of budgets? I certainly didn't agree to it. The American people didn't agree to it, to allow you to get paid what you get paid. And then finally, when people who bust their asses, blue collar workers, when they finally get a break, you got something to say. Well, you always have something negative to say. You look at us like we're fucking rats, and that's what we are to you. Well, guess what? There's more rats than there are people. And if the rats decided to lose their minds and take over, I would be scared. There are more of us than there are of you. I get real passionate about this shit. All right, let me turn this shit off, finish out my jog, my walk jog. See you guys later. That was new?
Yeah. You got that.
Oh, I thought. Oh, that's what I thought. I saw you hit him. I thought you slapped him.
Who?
Chris.
Me?
Wow.
Not you. Amy. When they were playing yesterday.
I sent a picture to my sister. I was like, oh, Amy scratched. And you know what she said?
What?
She was like, what did he do to her? And I was like, I think they were playing.
Yeah, I thought they were playing too.
But her first thing, she was like, what did she do? What did he do to her? Look, this is not,
What?
this is not, cilantro.
I don't.
No, it's just a piece of it.
Oh, just throw it away. So we're here making the kitty some dinner.
Are you making a video?
What are you making, babe? We're making Mexican. We're making like Chipotle bowls.
This is not Mexican.
Why do you always make a face?
Chimoles, even Chris was like, it's Salvadorian.
Mexican Salvadorian food. I'm making Chipotle bowls and he's making some chimol. Huh? I'm starting a vlog.
Did you guys see the video we made?
Fresh now.
You're all fresh? Shane?
Did you shower? Yes.
Nom 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 nom. This is why you don't starve yourself the whole day and just have like one meal, because then it's like boom, monster meal. Like what the fuck? That's like, it has to be at least 2,000 calories on one plate. Like I just boom, rice, boom, chimol, boom, everything. Anyway. Yes. It's that good shit. Subscribe, motherfucker. Thank you.